In this video, we're gonna do an updated plant tour. It's been maybe about a year since I did a plant tour, and I have a lot of additions because you guys know I love propagating, and also I've bought a couple new plants. And then one of my plants, my ficus, it has some spider mites on it, so I got this spray. What is this? This Dr. Earth spray that I'm gonna spray on it, and I'm gonna let you guys see. Let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Tasha from the Major Change Group, where we believe small changes can create big results. And you guys know I love plants, and I thought, let's do an update. Let me show you what I've been propagating. Let me show you what we're working with. And then also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put some pictures from before or some video footage from last year to show you just how far I've come along. You can also check out my plant life playlist where you can see how far I've come. All right, let's go. Okay, here's my collection right in front of the window. And then I also have some upstairs. But yeah, I think I got about 30 some odd plants. And y'all, it was so funny. This table that I have right here, last week I was walking the neighborhood and I was on the other side and I saw this table by the dumpster and I was just like, ooh, let me get it. I had to walk back to my house to get the car so I could go back and pick it up. Y'all, I was fighting to get that thing in the car. It was so funny. I had to end up driving without closing the door. It was so funny. And so this plant right here, this is a corn plant. This one and this one and that one. And I'm gonna put up a video. Last year I had went to a coffee and conversations and these were dying. And what I did, I ended up, I was gonna try to repot it, but I noticed that it was rooting really bad. And so I had to cut it. And so I propagated them and this is what it looks like now. So I'm so excited. And so I got my little propagating station right here and I'm propagating some wandering Drew plants. And basically what happened, I ended up combining, I think I had like 4, and I ended up combining them all in this plant. And then as you can see how they have the stems and they get so long, and then sometime when I'm moving them around it might fall off, and so I ended up cutting some off. And then now I'm gonna propagate. So then I'm propagating some more right here, and I'm gonna end up putting these upstairs because I want more plants upstairs. And then here are my golden pothos, and this one is growing really well. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these came from this one. And then you can see how this one is growing and it's vining. Look at that. And I got this one from Publix. So I got this one from Publix. I'll have to put the video. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, look at that. That's vining on this side too. So I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna end up propagating some more from this one, because pothos are just so easy to grow. And then I ended up finding a home for a couple for one. because I had propagated some back over in March, and so I ended up propagating. And this one, this is so pretty. And so this plant right here, I had ended up repotting it. This is one of the ones that I took to the Coffee and Conversations, and this is actually from my granny's funeral 5 years ago. And then also in March, I had a family member, Ed Dog. He passed away, and so what I ended up doing, I ended up combining those. And this one also is from my granny's funeral 5 years ago. And so that's really where I got my start. And then this one as well. And so I really wanted to make sure that these really grew. And so that's why I had to get help. And so that one is looking really good. And you know, sometimes these corn plants, Dracaenas, they are sometimes they can give you a little bit of a problem. But I think since I was so scared to repot it or mess it up, it just overgrew in the pot. And then once I actually went to repot it, it was just, I just kind of had to start from scratch. Yeah. And so this one as well, I had got from Ed Dog's funeral. But this one right here is my aloe that I had got from a plant swap in October of last year. And I think it's doing pretty good. Yep, and so I went on and combined my Wandering Jew so it could be one big vining plant. And this is my favorite. If you are new to plants, I would say either a Pothos or a Wandering Jew are the easiest plants that you can get. And then this is my Croton over here. And I really want to repot it, but I'm so scared because they can be kind of finicky when you repot it. But I've had this one maybe, and I need to water it. I've had this one for maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit longer, and it has just grown, and it's really outgrown that pot, but I'm just so scared to repot it. But yes, if you want to try your hand at plants, I would say that the Golden Pothos or any of the Pothos family are going to be easy for you to handle. And this one is a little philodendron. I got this one from Kroger, and so that one is doing pretty good. Yeah, so now we're going to go upstairs to my office, and I'm going to show you my other plants. Before we go upstairs, I forgot to show you these. So this is my prayer plant, and this is one that I got in March, and I repotted it, and I got this one from Ed Dog's funeral. And then this is my African violet, and you guys, I had almost killed the African violet, and I had to re-propagate it, and then I repotted it. And then right here, I have an Arrowhead, and that one is doing really good. And I think what I'm gonna do this winter, I'm gonna get me a plant light. And then here's my Burgundy Ficus, and I really need to repot it. Now you guys, I actually grew this one from just like one stem. It was over my mom's house. I had it in water like this, and it was over at her house, and then I brought it over to my house, and then I grew it. I ended up planting it myself, and I think it's been about 2 years. And so I call this the baby ficus, because when we go upstairs and I show you the one that I got from Home Depot not too long ago, it is massive. But yeah, this is my collection downstairs. And so why I really want to get me some lights is because that way because it's gonna start getting cold and I'm not gonna be able to have the windows open. And I really want to be able to put plants throughout the whole house opposed to just putting them here. So, and then I think it'll help them grow as well. Let's go. In my office, and this is where I record my videos. And then even over here on the other side, see, there's my green screen that I made. And I'm really considering updating it because I made that one out of poster board, as you can see. So this is where I record. So on this side, I got my Chinese Evergreen, and then I have my Ficus Burgundy. Look how big that one is compared to the one downstairs. And then I have my snake plant, and then right here, these two plants, this one and this one. Y'all, I'm always finding something at the Dipsy dumpster. You know, they say another man's trash, well, they say another person's trash is another person's treasure. And I had found this one, and it was all one plant. And what I did, I separated it and repotted it. And look how this one is growing. Look at it. And even my snake plant, that one is growing as well. So yes, I love my Chinese Evergreen. But now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can come up close to this ficus and if you can see the spider mites. Okay guys, wow, I'm looking at this one and you see that one? This was a leaf that was gonna be growing out and it is hard. And I'm feeling off in there and it is very dry. This one is just so big. And can you guys see right here? Right there. Can you see it? The spider mites. Now it was worse than this. And what I did first, I was just wiping it off because I wasn't for sure. And then it would grow back and it was way worse than what it is. So then I got this Dr. Earth spray and I sprayed it on there and it got a whole lot better. And it didn't grow back. It didn't come back. And so I noticed the other day that it looked like it was coming back. So I'm gonna show you guys. And it was so funny because I was like, I need to make a video. And a lot of times I just, you know how, I don't know, I just never think about it until after I've done it. And so I said this time I will show you guys how I do it. So I'm gonna take it outside because it's best, I think, to spray it outside. Even though it's natural, it's organic, but it is kind of strong. So let's go outside. Okay guys, so I'm outside and I might have to force this part over because it's kind of windy out. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this spray and I'm gonna spray it on here and then I'm gonna water it really good. And I can see that it has like a few dead leaves in there, but it definitely needs a good watering. And I don't know, when my mom, she's coming over here a little bit later today, and she always says that I underwater some of what looks like some of my plants are dry. But usually what I'll do, I'll stick my hand down off in there, you know, just like a little bit up to maybe like the knuckle. And so when I put it in there, I can definitely tell that it's dry, because you don't want to just look at it on top, because down off in there it can still be wet. So now I'm gonna just spray it down, especially in those places where the spider mites are. And I'm gonna have to put my mask on because it's kind of windy out here and that spray is gonna come in my face. Okay, so I got it sprayed really good, and I'm just gonna leave it out here, but I'm gonna go ahead and water it as well. And then if you're like me, and then you know how sometimes you can get the little gnats where, let's say if you're overwatering it, it could create those little gnats. And so I got me some of this mosquito bits, and I'm going to, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let them soak in some water, and then I'm gonna water the plants with the concoction that it creates. But then I also got my water over here. And so like your water jugs that you have, I don't throw those away, and I just put tap water in it and then let it sit, and then I use that to water my plants. And I'm gonna water this one really good because I know that it is dry. I got a dead leaf in there. Uh-oh. And so I'm just taking a look at it, and I can see, I want to make sure that I get it really good on the places that have the spider mites. And then as you can see, this is all natural. Y'all, I'm recording on my iPhone 6S. So I was trying to see if you could see what the ingredients are. But it has rosemary oil, sesame oil, peppermint oil, thyme oil, cinnamon oil, and garlic oil. But this stuff is really good. And then the mosquito bits, I've heard, really help for the gnats. And so I'm gonna try that as well. But yeah, so it's sprayed, and then I'm just gonna let it sit out here for a while, and then I'll probably rub those areas where the spider mites are and get that cleaned off. And then just taking a look at this, like right here, I don't know if you can see that, I'm going to cut that off since it's dead. But yeah, that is pretty. And I maybe should have repotted it in a bigger pot, because that thing is humongous. Back upstairs, and wow, it looks bare without my ficus over there. That thing is humongous, but I'm letting it air out outside. And so I got my evergreens up here, and they're looking good. I love the evergreens. They're fairly easy plant. And that's really what planting is all about. It's about kind of taking risk a little bit, but just trying it out. And I love researching. I love watching plant videos. I think if you're just trying to get into having plants at home, the pothos and the wandering Jew, and even the snake plant, those are very easy plants for you to get started on. I can't say which one is my favorite because I love them all, but what I want to try to do now is get some lights for my plants. Or if you have plant lights at your house, drop down in the comments and let me know which plant light is the best light, so that way I can have plants in my kitchen, I can have plants in my bedroom, and not just have plants in this room, my office, and then downstairs by the window. But especially since it's starting to get cold and it's not going to be as sunny, I definitely need a light. Yeah, but I'm going to use some of my Navy Federal points to get me a maybe $100 Amazon gift card, so we'll see. I think I got about 40,000 points, so it might cost 10,000 points to get a $100 gift card, but I think it'll be well worth it, so that I can go ahead and get me some plant lights. But yes, I hope that you found this video interesting. If you have any questions or you have any tips about plants, drop that in the comments and let me know, because I'm always willing and ready to learn, because I know that I got so much learning to do. But please like, subscribe, share, turn on that notification bell so that you can get the latest videos when they come out. And thank you so much for watching.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.